Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mic Drop, your weekly video series that discusses emerging online trends and what they mean for small business and franchises. I'm Mike Peters, online media director here at J. Miller Marketing, 16-year online marketing veteran, and your host for today's Mic Drop. Today's topic, geofencing. So, I don't know why, but we've been starting to get a lot of questions around here from our clients about geofencing. We've gotten some in the past, but it seems to have ignited recently. And so rather than answer them one by one, I asked all of our planners to kind of compile the consistent questions they see and get back to me. And they have provided me these questions right here that I'm going to go and I'm going to answer using my vast knowledge and also our real world experience here at J. Miller Marketing, because you may not know this, but we place a ton of geofenced ads. So let's get to it. First off, what is geofencing? Thanks for asking. Geofencing is not a channel like a Google or a Facebook. Geofencing is simply a tactic through which you target your ads. A geofence is a virtual fence, a virtual boundary that you're using, you're placing around either your store or a competitor's store, any geographical location. You're placing this fence around it. And then based off of people coming into the fence, they can now be exposed to your ads. They can be exposed to your ads via a display partner, via text messaging, via lots of different channels. But it's really just a tactic through which you're targeting your ads. It's not a channel itself is mainly the important part about geofencing. So there you go, one down. And that is my homage to David Letterman and his top 10 list. How does geofencing work? So to get geofencing to work, you need to partner with a vendor who specializes in this mobile data, because all of these fences are kind of powered by mobile data. You have your phone with you. Your phone has your GPS location, and so it knows if you're crossing into a fence or not into a fence. And so partnering with one of these location-based vendors is how you're going to be able to empower your ads. You're going to be able to deliver your ads within that geofence, or target your ads based off of how people act in the geofence or are seen in your geofence and then leave your geofence. I'll get into that later. But basically, you have to partner with the right people. Now, some things like Google and Facebook, they kind of geofence. You can place a radius around a certain location, which is a type of geofence. But what you don't get is the ability to really hone in and with a good geofencing partner. And the way we geofence is we'll go and we'll put a boundary around the physical walls of your store and target just that area. And so that's a lot more specific than you can do with a Google or a Facebook. But they do kind of geofence. They do allow you to do that, but I think it's down to maybe like a half mile. So nowhere near as precise as what we do through our partners. Also, people ask, so they come into the fence, are they only targeted when they're in the fence, and then when they leave, are they continue to be targeted? I've heard people say that you'll continue to be targeted for another 30 days. Out of the box, geofencing, you only will see the ad when you're in that fence. Once you leave the fence, you're not eligible to see it, unless they're doing some tricky stuff, which we love to do here at J. Miller Marketing, but set a recency cookie. And then we can see somebody came into the fence, and now I want to say target them, 7 days after they leave the fence. Or even crazier, we can do this with events. This is really good for events. So if there was a Taylor Swift concert in your market and you missed out and you really wish you could have targeted all the people at that Taylor Swift concert, we can set a geofence around the concert venue, and then we can say during down to the hour. Taylor was playing last Wednesday from 5 to 8 at night. We can target that, geofence it, add those time parameters, and then our partner can grab all those mobile cookies that were seen in that place. And so now, a week later, we can target them based off of a geofence we retroactively created around this Taylor Swift concert. It's crazy stuff you can do. Number 2, down. Where can geofenced ads be seen? So again, geofencing is not a channel. Geofencing is a way to target. So whatever channel you're using kind of determines how your ads will be seen. Typically, they're going to be done through a display. That's how we do it. We do it through a display partner. We layer in that geo-target, and then we show our display ads to them. Push notifications, typically this is app-based. When I worked with a big retailer in another job, we did a massive buy with the app called Retail Me Not. And we gave them all of the addresses of all of the stores we had in the nation. And anytime anybody got near that store, the Retail Me Not app would fire a push notification saying, hey, they're having a sale near you right now. That is a push notification used through a geofence. What other use cases we have? We have display. Display is really the main way you're gonna use it. You can layer in other targeting options like keywords and stuff like that, but it's really the baseline is you're just trying to focus your ad, whatever ad message it is, using this fence. 3. Oh, that one did not launch. Sorry. What devices see the ads? Since, again, we're creating these fences using GPS data, for the most part, the vast majority of these impressions are going to be seen on mobile devices. Makes sense. Your mobile device is your GPS. It is telling the network where you are, and that's how we're targeting you. Just recently, last week, they released something called addressable geofencing. And so this is a way to get the geofencing to the desktop. And so addressable geofencing, you upload a list of addresses, ideally like your prospects' homes. If you do a lot of direct mail and you want to create synergy, you can give that direct mailing list to us. We can take that, upload it into our geofencing system, and create what they call addressable geofences. Just little boxes around the plot of those addresses. So the system is so smart, it knows the actual like geography plot of that address, what their blueprint says they own. We can place a fence around it and then run ads. And so it's a way of creating synergy between your direct mail. It's a way of replacing your direct mail. It's a way of really getting creepy and targeting one specific, you got that friend you don't like and you just want to hit with ads, put their address in there, and then you can just bombard them with ads whenever they come home. That's the power of addressable geofencing. So that's really cool. And that literally came out last week. So look forward to that. Much better. What sizes should you use? Again, since the vast majority of what we're doing is on the mobile space, you're going to want to focus on those mobile ad sizes. The 300s by 50, the 320 by 50, those are your go-to by far. We upload the other sizes, but they really don't get used because it's all mobile inventory. So for simplicity, just if you're starting out and you don't want to spend a lot of time designing ads, just focus on those mobile sizes. Oh, I hit my phone. Who should use geofencing? Glad you asked. Everybody. No. People with a local focus. People who want to target either the area around their stores, their competitors' stores, related stores, anywhere you have a physical location where you think your prospects are going to be, try geofencing because it's a great way to reach people that are in your local area, that are in relevant places, and to kind of drive them into your store. Ooh, off. How much does it cost to geofence? Interesting question. Geofencing is something that we have been working a very long time on here at J. Miller Marketing. And I know it was probably a journey I started a year and a half ago trying to figure out how we can geofence for our clients who typically have much smaller budgets than are required. Because I was finding that you need minimum spends of $10,000, $20,000 a month just to do these geofences. And with a local store whose only budget is $300 to $500, $700 a month, we could never test it. But we plugged and we looked at all these different partners that we could partner with. We developed our own system in-house, and now we can place geofencing ads for as low as $500 a month. So that huge investment that was required to play in the space, $10,000, $20,000, gone. We can do it for $5,000. All the cool stuff I've talked about during this, we can do it all just for that little budget. And you've got, you're just a local guy, so that money can still go a very long way. What are the benefits of geofencing? So, covering those competitors, getting people who are going to your competitor's store and coming to your store, that's a good reason. Getting that local footprint out there, covering related venues and events. If you wanted to hit schools, hitting schools, all that stuff. If you've ever driven past a building, you're like, oh, if only I could tell everybody in that building about my business, I knew they would all come. Benefit of geofencing, you can do it that way. But really, the best thing that the thing that I love the most about geofencing is in-store tracking. Because this is all geofence based or GPS based, we can now place ads in a geofence, and the user ID, the mobile ID number will be logged when they see your ad. When they're exposed to your ad, if they click your ad, all of that is logged. They're in the fence, they're logged in. And what we do on our end is we create a second fence just around your store. We call it the conversion zone. And if that mobile ID is seen in that conversion zone, they are an in-store visit. We can track. They saw an ad, they came into your store. So finally, it kind of bridges the gap between online and offline. And now we're starting to see like how these ads are bringing people into the store. And not only that, but we are also monitoring natural converters. So people who don't see our ads but still show up in the conversion zone, we're logging those mobile IDs as well. And so you can kind of see if you don't have like a door dinger or a foot traffic counter, we're getting some incremental data here so we can show you how many people are naturally coming to your store. So with this type of data, we can finally see like how online is influencing people. We just finished a month-long test with several of our clients, and we were doing this geofencing, and we were monitoring our conversion zones, and we're seeing what we call a geoconversion lift. So the likelihood that when somebody who sees your ad is, we found they're anywhere from 100 to over 200% more likely to come into your store than just an average Joe on the street. So we're seeing that there is value in the online display that we're doing, and we're watching these people actually get exposed to your ads and then come into your store. So what we can't say is we can't say if they bought anything, how much they bought, if they sold to you. We don't have that data yet, but I know people are working on it. There is offline conversion tracking you can kind of upload into some systems. So if you have like a big database that you can export all of your your daily transactions and stuff like that, we can try to match it up to that. But really, for the most part, right now, what we're doing is those visits, those in-store visits that we're tracking, and it's really cool. And in case you're wondering, what is the accuracy? And this it's not one of my questions, but it just popped in my head. What is the accuracy of your GPSing? I know I mentioned that we can put it around your actual physical location, but did you know that the accuracy of the GPS data that we're using to target these ads can get as accurate as 6 inches? 6 inches. That's like that close. That's crazy. When I started, we were targeting miles. We were talking zip codes. We were talking cities and states. Now I can target 6 inches. A little tiny 6-inch spot. It's crazy. That's technology at work, my friends. So we've gone through all of this. You are now a geofencing expert. You're interested. You're like, this is the best. First, comment down below. Get back to me. I will certainly reach out to you if you want me to and tell you all about geofencing and what we can do. But really, let's take a test. I call it, is it, isn't it, geofencing? Here's a tricky one. Are beacons geofencing? Yes, they are. Anything that's using a digital fence to make some sort of action happen is a geofence. Beacons, basically, if you're not familiar, beacons are like little wireless devices you set up in your store, and then when they monitor somebody who comes in, they can like do a push notification or something. That's geofencing. Speaking of push notifications, are push notifications geofencing? Kinda. Depends. Some of your push notifications, like if you have a loyalty program that you use to just push out to everybody, that's not geofencing. But that Retail Me Not app, example I mentioned earlier, that is geofencing because it was monitoring where you were, and once you got within our fence, it would send a push notification. The key here is that you have opted into receiving those messages. You cannot just randomly blast anybody with a text message because they're in your geofence. They have to have given you permission. So in the Retail Me Not example, they, by downloading the app, had given Retail Me Not their location, they gave them access, they gave them permission to give them push notifications. In the loyalty program membership, they gave you their contact information, and they said, yes, let me know about events, and so you can push there. But what you can't do is set a geofence, around your store and just expect people to walk in and all of a sudden get a text. Not gonna happen that way. Display ads through the Google Display Network, are those geofenced? I would call them geofenced light if you're targeting them correctly. We typically will target a radius around our stores, and we do what I call nested circles. And so we'll target a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles, maybe 10 miles is a big market. And that allows us to set up different bidding parameters so that we're targeting or we're bidding more for the people closest to your store. So we are using a sort of geofence there. Not as accurate as what I've talked about earlier, but it is a geofence light. Retargeting. Now, retargeting is typically, when you think about retargeting, it's site-based retargeting. So it's people came to your site, they get cookied, and then they leave, and you can retarget them. But if you remember earlier, that event, that Taylor Swift event, that is this type of retargeting. And also, you can retarget people based off of coming into your fence and leaving your fence. So there is some opportunity to retarget there. Just another tricky little trick that we have as advertisers to try to keep abreast or keep top of mind of our customers. And then I think that is my final question. And this time I never got thrown, so he gets thrown too. So that is my mic drop. Consider the mic dropped. Comment, share, like. I love geofencing. I think it is a fantastic tactic for local advertisers, and I've really invested a lot of time and effort here at J. Miller to get our program up to where it is. So if you have any questions, if you are interested about the crazy power of geofencing, let me know, and I will be happy to take you through it. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week on Mic Drop.